The Eagles have won the toss. Robbie Gould gets things started. Jordan Calvin filling in for the injured Ellis Hobbs for the Eagles, and Calvin takes it out to the 27-yard line as Michael Vick leads the Eagles offense onto the field.
And he has been outstanding this season, really matured as a quarterback. We all know about his athletic ability and what he brings to that position, but I have been more impressed with how he's played it as a traditional quarterback throughout the year.
You saw the numbers, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Eagles start from their own 27-yard line as Vick hands off to LaShawn McCoy, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Israel Adonijah.
And here's where it gets scary when you talk about the Bears defense, is those four skill players right there. They have the potential to score at any time, and to make matters worse, this offensive line played what I felt was their best game of the season last week against a very good New York Giant defense.
Alfred Buckley replaces McCoy in the backfield. Macklin and Jackson split out to the left. And the handoff is to Buckley. And again, it's Adonijah on the tackle, along with Anthony Adams, gain of 3. So the Eagles now facing a 3rd down and 8.
And the key to this style of defense is that front four. Julius Peppers, a huge addition in the offseason. But what sets it apart is this group of linebackers right here. Brian Urlacher is just having a bang-up year. This secondary, very good. We talked about how they don't give up the big play. Chris Harris, Danielle Manning, they're going to play those safeties back deep to try and take away the big play of the Philadelphia offense.
And that Bears defensive line, they shed tackles unbelievably up front.
Empty backfield goose, 3 wide receivers plus McCoy. Vick on 3rd and 8. Down he goes, back at the 19-yard line. And for the 3rd straight play, it is Adonijah who comes up with the sack on 3rd down, his 7th of the season.
All right, take a look at it pre-snap. You're going to think there's a blitz coming. There's the linebackers up, but it's just the down 4. When this defense can get to the quarterback just bringing 4 guys, it could be a long afternoon. Philadelphia has got to get that corrected on the sideline.
Yeah, Philadelphia's offensive line has got to be prepared for a lot of stunts up with that defensive line. They're going to do a lot of movement. They're going to be dragging guys down. They're going to be helping each other, and that's the pressure that they're going to try and get.
Savraka punting from his own 10-yard line to the always dangerous Devin Hester. Hester lets it bounce. So good job by Rocca keeping the ball out of the hands of Hester. But it does lead to terrific field position for Jay Cutler and the Bears offense.
And really one of the big challenges this afternoon is not only for Mike Martz, the offensive coordinator, but for Jay Cutler too, playing against this Bears defense with 2 new backups playing cornerback. Dimitri Patterson gets the start for Ellis Hobbs, and Joselio Hansen will get the start for Asante Samuel. But they have to stay true to what they've done the last 3 weeks, and that's mix the pass and run and make good decisions.
Bears start from their own 34-yard line. Cutler off the play fake. With time, he fires high, intended for Hester.
And again, what has really happened during this Bears 3-game win streak is getting a balance between the run and the pass. And they've got to get Matt Forte started. Johnny Knox, Devin Hester will see limited action as a wide receiver. They want to try and preserve his abilities in the special teams that Tony talked about. And here's another key reason. They finally found their starting 5. Coming out of that bye week, they got those starting 5 together. They feel confident moving through the rest of the season. They have played well through this 3-game win streak.
On 2nd and 10, this is Forte. And Matt Forte takes it out close to the 40-yard line. Gain of 5. Moses Foku made the tackle for the 9th-ranked Eagles defense.
A 9th-ranked defense that has really improved over the last 3 weeks. One of the biggest areas against the run. Brandon Graham gets the start for Jaquay Parker, who's down this afternoon. Antonio Dixon's been huge against the run. Stuart Bradley back and healthy. That linebacker group very good. Asante Samuel inactive today. Joselio Hansen gets the start. That'll be something we'll keep an eye on during the course of the game, is how those corners hold up for Philadelphia.
Penalty markers prior to the snap.
Ball start, offense number 68, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's the left tackle, Frank Omiyale. Lovie Smith's Bears lead the league in false start penalties this season.
And you can't beat yourself. In pre-snap penalties, we've seen several teams this season that are struggling. The Bears very fortunate to be able to overcome some of those tough starts, but against this Eagles defense, they cannot allow pre-snap penalties to become something that happens throughout the afternoon.
Bears must get to the 44 for a first down as Cutler is taken down back at the 28-yard line by Trent Cole, his 8th sack this season.
I'll tell you what, Trent Cole comes with a great rush. Just clubs to the outside, turns his shoulder. Here he is on the outside on your left hand of your screen. He goes, gets right by, keeps coming, doesn't stop, and takes Cutler down.
That was a great job of keeping his balance as he came around the corner there, Goose, to stay in his lane.
With that sack, Cole now 3rd in Eagles history. Only Reggie White and Clyde Simmons with more sacks in an Eagles uniform than Trent Cole. Terrific kick by Brad Maynard, forcing Deshaun Jackson all the way back to the 17-yard line. Looks to turn upfield, and Jackson is forced out of bounds by the punter Maynard. Goose, you talked about special teams. A big return by Jackson of 35 yards. Well, both teams have won their last 3 games. Eagles have done it with offense, Bears with defense.
Well, it's kind of one of those classics. Something has got to give games. You look at how the offense for Philadelphia matches up against the defense for Chicago. Which group is going to make the plays necessary this afternoon? I'm really, really excited because they are very, very different styles. Philadelphia is built around getting that big play down the field. And Chicago, this defense is built. That's the one thing you're not supposed to be able to do against the style that Chicago plays.
There he goes. Michael Vick spreading him out. Look for a big play downfield.
Quick pass to Deshaun Jackson, and he gains 6. Tim Jennings the tackle.
And sometimes it's that simple, just getting the ball into Deshaun Jackson's hands on the outside. You saw how elusive he was on that punt return, and both Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin have a return background.
We welcome those of you who have just joined us. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa in Chicago. Both teams went 3 and out on their opening drives. Michael Vick and the Eagles now 2nd down and 4 from the Bears 44. LaShawn McCoy picks up a first down. He is forced out of bounds at the Bears 34 by Charles Tillman after picking up 11.
And I'm not sure if that was a design play. I think that is something that Michael Vick is very conscious of, is finding his check down. And it could be just LaShawn McCoy on the swing pass, not necessarily somebody downfield. And I really think that that's going to help him, because if he can get that, if he can get comfortable with finding his checkdowns, instead of him pulling the ball down and running and taking those unnecessary hits and really being tired in the 4th quarter, finding that checkdown is going to help him out tremendously.
He would love to conserve some energy off the fake end around to Jackson. Vick cuts away from Julius Peppers. He spins and steps out of bounds at the 30. Did not conserve any energy on that play.
Yeah, he didn't take any hits.
Julius Peppers does a great job of pass rushing here on the outside. See number 90. He comes clean a little bit up underneath here, but Michael Vick, little stutter step, gets to the outside, but he's not stopping. Julius Peppers has an unbelievable motor. He is going to come until he hears that whistle blow. That's what makes him a great player, huh, Darryl?
Yeah, it was a good job by Jason Peters staying with it, too. And you know that when you've got Michael Vick. You've got to stay on your feet and keep working. Just a little push could give that enough for Michael Vick to extend that play.
2nd down and 7. LaShawn McCoy up the middle. McCoy down to the 27. Time for a game break. Here's Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
And time to check in with Kansas City at Seattle. Matt Castle hooking up with Dwayne Bowe. 7 straight game. Bowe's had a receiving touchdown, and it puts the Chiefs on top. 7-0. Still early. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. Seahawks in first place in the NFC West. Falling behind early. Third down and 3 off the play fake. Vick sets. Now he throws. And the catch is unable to be made by Brent Selleck.
And that's what I mean right there. You're going to have opportunities for the big play, but you've got to take advantage of them. Brent Celek, this is a great job. Sell it, sell it, sell it, get lost now down the field. Lance Briggs loses him. And there's your shot down the field for the big play. You're going to be challenged all afternoon to have that opportunity. When they're there, Michael Vick has to take advantage of them. He missed that one.
Looks like Michael Vick just laid that up nice and easy. Didn't have a lot on it, and that wind might have kept it aloft a little bit more than he thought.
There's David Akers from 45 yards out. His kick is good. David Akers playing in his 183rd game, as you saw, tying Brian Dawkins' franchise record. Eagles lead by 3.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Deshaun Jackson with the 35-yard punt return, leading to the David Akers field goal. Devin Hester, 13 career kick or punt return touchdowns, tied for the NFL record with Brian Mitchell. Hester forced to go across the field to scoop it up, and now looks to go back the other way. A lot of running. Hester forced out of bounds by Trevard Lindley. Jay Cutler and the Bears offense.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Jay Cutler and the Bears offense go back to work from their own 21-yard line. They went 3 and out on their opening drive. Cutler looks left on first down. Now moves to his left. Crosses the 30 and stepped out of bounds just shy of the marker.
And I think one of the things that's happened over the last 3 weeks, too, during this Bears win streak is Jay Cutler has made some nice plays with his feet. You're going to see here, he's going to look for the throw. Devin Aromashodu is covered number 19. Just pull the ball down. You know, early in the season, sometimes he had so much confidence in that arm that he'd try and fit a ball. In the last few games, he's been just pulling it down and making plays with his feet.
Jay Cutler's got that sneaky speed, too, Darryl. Doesn't look like he's running fast, but he's got some moves.
2nd and 1, here's Forte, first down and more. Back Forte across midfield, down the sideline, and finally forced out of bounds inside the 10 at the Eagles' 9-yard line. Forte gained 61.
When you have a long run, a lot of times it's because the running back made somebody miss, and Matt Forte made Stuart Bradley miss right in the hole. Watch number 55 come in. He's in great position. He misses right there. Now Matt Forte is into the secondary.
In this defense that the Eagles run, everyone he has a gap. And that's exactly what happens. You're right, Darryl. Stuart Bradley missed that tackle, and that's exactly what happens.
Now Cutler gives it right back to Forte. And this time he's bottled up by Ernie Sims for a loss of a yard.
And that's what happens when you stay in your gap.
Ernie Sims, too.
Now Forte comes out. He had a 68-yard run earlier this season. 61 on the previous play. There's offensive coordinator Mike Martz.
And he's brought into the philosophy that, you know, we don't have to win this offensively. We've got a great defense. We've got Devin Hester, who's so dangerous in special teams. Just go out and be efficient, convert on 3rd downs, don't make big mistakes.
Cutler to the end zone, touchdown, Earl Bennett.
Coming out of the slot with Earl Bennett. Nate Allen a little bit late getting there. You can see how Joselio Hansen played it. He felt he had more help to the inside. He was playing very heavy to the outside.
Robbie Gould adds the extra point. teammates at Vanderbilt. Bennett's second touchdown reception this season.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By E-Trade, investing unleashed. And by Windows 7.
Back in Chicago, the Bears drive 79 yards in only 4 plays, thanks in large part to Matt Forte's 61-yard run, and then a 10-yard touchdown to Bennett.
And one of the things that Philadelphia's defense has done a great job of the last few games is run defense against good running teams. They've got to get that one fixed.
Jordan Calvin on the return for the Eagles. Out to the 27-yard line. Josh Bullock's the tackle on special teams. 7-3 Chicago. We would like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching today's broadcast in 175 countries on AFN, the American Forces Network. Thanks for all you do, and we hope that you are enjoying today's telecast from Chicago.
Exactly, and not to emphasize it more than we should every day, but especially as we get into the holiday season. We just had Thanksgiving. We got a lot of our soldiers away from family members. We got Christmas coming up, so thank you for everything you guys do.
Thank you for letting us do what we do. We appreciate everything.
And we hope you enjoyed today's game with the Bears leading the Eagles 7-3. Eagles start from their own 27-yard line as Vick finds Jason Avant, who slips down at the 32. Avant grew up here in Chicago, and he gains 5 on his first reception today.
And that'll be interesting to watch during the course of the game is how does this field hold up with the footing? And it is a little soft, and we walked on it. It's been worn a little bit. It's much different than it was 2 weeks ago when we were here for Minnesota. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the middle's a lot different than the outside. You know, the middle's really matted down there, and the outside's a little bit thicker, and that's where he slipped on the outside.
Second down and 5 as Vick is wrapped up. Got rid of the football, but he was ruled down back at the 26-yard line. It's the second Bears sack. Matt Tuina wrapping up Michael Vick.
Again, it's only 4 guys rushing, and at one point, it was Todd Hermans and Jason Peters on Matt Tuina, so he just keeps working. These guys are absolutely relentless with their pass rush. You cannot allow 4 to get to your quarterback. That means Michael Vick has got to hold the ball. He's trying to find his wide receivers with 7 people in coverage.
Third down and 11. Eagles must get to the 37 for a first down. Vick spins away from Melton. Still looking. Escapes from Melton once again. And is tackled at the 31 by Tuina. So Vick gains 5, but the Eagles forced the punt.
It is so critical playing this style of defense to be able to get pressure with your 4. Because here goes everybody back into coverage. Look at the depth of the safeties. They are dropping out so deep, nothing is going to get by them. They're going to challenge Michael Vick to make touch throws in between the linebackers and the safeties.
South Rocket punting for the second time. Hester from the 32. Knocked out of bounds after he crosses the 40. So good field position for the Bears, who lead by 4. 44-degree day here in Chicago with the Bears leading the Eagles 7-3. 7-3 is the record of both clubs, both in first place in their respective divisions. The Bears have beaten only one team with a winning record. That was Green Bay back in Week 3. But Lovie Smith told us we are not apologizing for our record.
No, and I don't think it's the fact that they've only beaten one team with a winning record at this point. I think it's something else, and we'll get into that after this play.
From the 41-yard line, Chester Chandler loses his footing and loses a yard. Trent Cole with the pressure.
I think more than their strength of schedule coming into this game, when you talk about a team that's 7-3 and not getting a lot of respect, the one time that they were on the national stage was against the New York Giants, and they gave up 9 sacks in the first half. And when you do that, I think that sticks in people's minds, and they've been trying to kind of fight through that since that game, and it's been an uphill battle. These teams both have 7-3 records. We look at Philadelphia as perhaps the most explosive offense and a very difficult team in the NFL, and the Chicago Bears, you're like, really? They're 7-3? I didn't realize that they were leading the NFC North.
Second down and 11. Cutler gets rid of it quickly. Hester, first down and more. Devin Hester is inside the Eagles' 30 and finally brought down at the 21-yard line as Hester gains 39.
And that's going to be one of the plays that Devin Hester has in this offense as they monitor his snaps. Just a little bubble screen. Get it to him quick. Earl Bennett, great job. Edwin Williams, Chris Williams, an outstanding job coming from the left guard spot and getting a great block. Good touch by Jay Cutler right there over Nate Allen. Good play call into the Philadelphia blitz.
They're absolutely right. What a great job of them offensive line getting downfield and getting blocks on those little guys.
Here's Taylor, spins inside the 20 as we check in once again with Curt Menefee. Curt.
Buffalo trying to win its 3rd game in a row, taking Pittsburgh to overtime. There, Ryan Fitzpatrick hooking up with a wide open Steve Johnson, but he dropped it. So overtime continues. Sean Sweesham's 4th field goal of the day wins it in OT, 19-16. Buffalo's 3rd overtime loss this season. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Wow, thanks, Curt. Sean Sweesham brought in a couple of weeks ago to replace Jeff Reed in Pittsburgh. Second down and 9. Off the play fake. Cutler fires. Touchdown, Johnny Knox.
Very impressed with Chicago right now, what they're doing as a team. All 3 phases. There's Johnny Knox working against Rogelio Hansen, who's in for the injured Asante Samuel. And again, a little slip on the throw.
Called the extra point. Second touchdown reception of the season by Knox.
Chicago's doing a nice job of giving Jay Cutler plenty of time to throw. He has an opportunity for this play to develop. You see the slip by Rogelio Hansen on the cut by Johnny Knox. Watch, here it is. Works to the inside as he breaks out, loses his balance. And when you're on a soft turf, you've got to keep your weight over your toes. If you get back on your heels, your feet are going to slide out, and that's what happened to Rogelio as he tried to react to that break back outside by Johnny Knox.
That's called home field advantage right there, huh, Darryl? Knowing your field.
Well, now you got to make the adjustment. Whether you have to go put in some longer cleats or just be really, really conscious of the fact that when I'm getting in and out of my breaks this afternoon, I have got to be perfect with my technique, with my body weight over my toes.
And changing cleats, one of the keys, Darryl, you were telling us last night, to your first Super Bowl victory with the Dallas Cowboys.
It really was. We went out in the first quarter and we were slipping all over the place, and we changed very quickly. Went from half-inch to 5/8, and even some guys went into 3/4-inch cleats, and all of a sudden it started to help us with our footing during that game. And I think it was really one of the small subplots that nobody talked about.
Here's Calvin from the 8. Nice return by Jordan Calvin. Out across the 35, a 27-yard return. Well, Fox, tonight, a Thanksgiving tragedy strikes an all-new Simpsons. Now somebody or something's got to go, or this is going to be one holiday for the birds. Don't miss an all-new episode of The Simpsons at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox. Yeah. We hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Big play is the key for the Bears here in this first quarter.
Look at how deep those safeties are.
They're bailing out, too, on the snap of the ball.
And then Vic finds his man, Clay Harbor, who grew up here in Illinois in Chicago territory, as he caught it in front of those deep safeties.
And again, watch at the top. You're going to have a slip, and that allows Clay Harbor to get there. as Daniel Manning came up, or no, was it Major Wright? Major Wright, as he comes up out of his back pedal, he slips. That's enough time for Clay Harbor to get into that area. And I think that that's going to be one of the big challenges this afternoon for Michael Vick. They're going to force him to throw touch passes over the linebacker and in front of the safeties.
From the 41 on first down, Vick dumps it off to McCoy. He's tackled at the 34-yard line by Brian Urlacher. There's one of those checkdowns you were talking about earlier for Michael Vick.
Yeah, and he's showing a great deal of patience up until this point. He missed one throw early in the game when he had Brent Selleck down the seam on a bootleg. But other than that, he's been very good. He hasn't forced anything yet, and that's what this defense challenges you. They're going to try and frustrate Michael Vick and Marty Mornhinweg to make a play, to try and fit something down the field, and then jump on it and make the interception.
Keep an eye on those safeties, how fast they're bailing out on this pass.
On 2nd and 4, inside handoff to McCoy. McCoy to the 34-yard line. Lance Briggs, Tommy Harris.
They're even
tackle.
Hey, Darryl, even the safeties are even bailing out when it's a run. You know, they're not even looking in the backfield. It's like they're almost lining up at 14, 15 yards and trying to get to 20, 22 yards, you know, before Michael gets his feet set. But, you know, they're not really keeping an eye on the backfield, and they're bailing out.
I think they have so much confidence in that front seven, Tony, to handle that run that they don't have to worry about it wearing that two deep safeties.
And they are handling the run right now.
Third down and 3 as Vick fires, and a tremendous catch is made inside the 20-yard line by Jason Avant, who reached up for it. Picks up 15 yards and an Eagles first down.
You're going to have to get into these soft spots and find that area, right? That's a nice job by Jason Avant in between Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher. And a great catch. Look at that. Go up. That's excellent.
So the Eagles move the chains. New set of downs when we come back. First quarter comes to an end. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages. Jay Cutler with a pair of touchdown passes in the first quarter. Andy Reid's Eagles had not a point in the first quarter over their last 5 games, but they trail this one 14-3 as we start the second. Eagles in the red zone. First and 10 from the Bears, 19-yard line. Vick throws, and the pass incomplete, intended for Deshaun Jackson.
They got to make that catch. You are not going to get a lot of opportunities to get the ball down the field like that. And it's everything is done well. I mean, Deshaun Jackson does a great job of finding the soft spot, getting into that area where he's got a direct line of sight back to Michael Vick. There's that strength to be able to fit it into those small windows. Now just finish it. Just finish that catch.
Second and 10. 3 wide receivers set. McCoy in the backfield to give to McCoy. And he spins down to the 11-yard line, a gain of 8.
I am still always surprised when I look at the stats for the Philadelphia Eagles in their running game, because we think about Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin and everything they can do throwing the ball. And then you look at their running stats, and LeSean McCoy, you know, has great games. You know, it was really the key in the fourth quarter last week against the Giants. They stuck with it, popped 2 big runs, but yards per carry and yards per game, you know, Philadelphia is always near the top in the NFL.
On 3rd down and 2, the toss to Jackson. And Deshaun Jackson looks to have the first down. He was tackled by Tim Jennings.
Michael Vick likes to mix it up, but I don't think you want to mix it up right there with Julius Peppers. He comes there on the outside. He gets. All right, Mike, that's a nice job getting his way a little bit and get out of the way, because that guy right there, you know, will put a hurting on you.
Here, Goosey moved to the left defensive end position. He's been flip-flopping a little bit during the course of the game here. That's when you throw the pitch and you wheel out. You expect to see Israel Adonijah out there, and you're like, hey, wait a minute. What's he doing over here?
Exactly.
And they've had their battles during their days in the NFC South. Here's Vick throwing it through the end zone, intended for the tight end, Brent Selleck.
That's a good decision, though. Throw it away. You put it up where nobody can get it.
You talk about playing the quarterback position, and Michael Vick told us yesterday, I landed in a good place. It's a chance for me to learn. I trust my coaches.
He landed in a great place. I mean, Marty Morningway and Andy Reid have done a tremendous job making Michael Vick into really an NFL quarterback. Not an athlete playing the quarterback position, but his fundamentals have improved so much under their tutelage.
Here's Vick on 2nd and goal to the end zone, and Urlacher got a hand on it. Pass intended for Riley Cooper.
And look how big Brian Urlacher is. Now, you're down in the red zone, and he's so fast, he's so big, he's so athletic. He's going to close down the windows in these zone defenses. That's a throw that Riley Cooper is going to catch against most middle linebackers, but he is so athletic that he's able to knock that down.
If Brian Urlacher doesn't tip that ball, that's a touchdown. Because both defenders were looking at the receiver and not at the ball.
Now 3rd and goal for Vick and the Eagles. Vick to the end zone. The catch is made this time for a touchdown by Jeremy Maclin.
Offensive line doing a good job of giving Michael Vick time in the pocket.
And I also think, Tony, that you're so worried about Michael Vick pulling the ball down and running. What a great job by Jeremy Maclin staying alive. Piso Tinuisamoa gets away with a little hold right there, but he just keeps working. That's a great job of fighting through that. But I think that defense, you're so aware of Michael Vick at the quarterback spot, pulling that ball down and running, that as it got late in the play, they took their eyes off of where they were in their zones.
Anchors the extra point. 8th touchdown reception of the season for Maclin. Eagles pull to within 4.
Today's game is sponsored by Coors Light, the new silver bullet aluminum pint from Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL, by Genworth Financial, and by the Ford F-150 and its 4 new engines. This is the future of truck.
Welcome back to America's Game of the Week from Soldier Field. Eagles drive 10 plays, 65 yards. And Michael Vick now with 12 touchdowns, no interceptions. The last quarterback to throw at least 12 touchdowns from the start of a season with no picks, Randall Cunningham with the 98 Vikings.
That was a pretty good offensive team right there, Randall Cunningham.
You ain't kidding.
Vikings lost only 1 game that season during the regular season before losing to the Falcons in the NFC Championship game. Here's Danielle Manning, not Hester on the return, and Manning takes it out to midfield. We saw Devin Hester earlier. Now it's Manning who's 8th in the NFC in kickoff return average, and he brings this one out 44 yards.
I hope nobody on the Philadelphia kickoff coverage team kind of looked back there and said, number 23 is not back there. We're all right on this one. You've got to get down, keep your lanes. And again, it works in conjunction with what this team has been doing over the last 3 weeks. Great defense, great special teams, puts their offense in favorable field position.
They start from the 47. Bears with touchdowns on their last 2 possessions. Both set up by big plays. Forte had one of them, a 61-yard run, but he's tackled for a loss of 2 by Antonio Dixon.
Well, there was a big change coming out of the bye for the Chicago Bears, and they had been throwing the ball a bunch. We talked about their performance against the New York Giants. There were times when they were completely out of whack from run pass. That has changed. They've become a lot more balanced. You look at those first 7 games, 60-40, just to be easy. And then 53-47. That's a huge change. And for Mike Martz, he is known, as the mad scientist of offense, but it's about that passing game. And he's been able to kind of put his ego aside. Jay Cutler put his ego aside and come out and function within the dynamic of this team. Now they just have to get lined up.
Yes, some confusion, and the Bears use their first time out. So Cutler will head over for a chat with Mike Martz. There's Sean McDermott, the Eagles' defensive coordinator.
We had them at Tennessee, and they had a fourth-quarter meltdown and gave up 27 points to not really Tennessee, but basically Kenny Britt. And since that time, there's been a refocus with what Sean McDermott has done with his defense, and this Eagles defense has responded also. So this is going to be a great matchup during the course of the afternoon. We've talked a lot about that other one, the Chicago Bear defense against Michael Vick and that explosive Eagles offense, but this one is going to be fun to watch too because of the fact that they're in transition. They're trying to find their role to fit in with this team. Can they stay with it?
Eagles have not lost since that Tennessee game. They had a bye the next week and have won their last 3. Second down and 12 from the 45. Cutler moving to his right. Can't find anyone downfield. And is forced out of bounds after gaining a yard.
Good coverage by the Eagles on this play. They show blitz. They pull out of it, play zone behind it. As Jay Cutler is moving to his right, that's going to be a tough throw. You've got Ernie Sims coming from the inside out on him. One of those 8 running plays, a big run by Matt Forte to set up one of the Bears' touchdowns.
And then a 39-yard pass to Hester set up the other. Hester in motion on 3rd down and 11. Bears must get to the Eagles 43, and Cutler is sacked back at the 37-yard line by the rookie out of Michigan, Brandon Graham. It's his 3rd of the year.
And this is just a blown assignment by the protection of the Chicago Bears. You cannot come that clean.
Looked like rookie against rookie there with Jamarcus Webb with right tackle. Comes crashing down to help Garza out, but doesn't see Brandon Graham there on the outside. Sometimes they're the toughest plays. You know, when you're scot-free, you're thinking, oh, what's going on here? They're going to block me. They're doing some kind of trick play. That's the hardest time to go and get one of the quarterbacks down. He does a great job of finishing Brandon Graham.
So Goose, the Bears have now allowed a league high 39 sacks this season, including 2 today. Penalty marker as Macklin was forced out of bounds after a 5-yard return. Scott Green, our referee.
We got one of the officials with his hat off, so somebody's out of bounds. See if it was somebody didn't work hard enough to get back in bounds.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team. Number 21 went out of bounds to come down and cover the kick. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
21 is Corey Graham, so that will cost Chicago 15 yards. There's Corey Graham, who went out of bounds during the return.
He's really pleading his case, but I don't think he's got much of a case, Goose.
Yeah, if you take a look at this, right now he's at the heater, then he gets grabs a Gatorade, and then he comes back out. Tell you what, not a bad job, not a bad job. Just got to get back out there a little bit faster, or they're going to throw a flag on him.
So the Eagles benefit following the 15-yard penalty, and now Vick forced to throw it away as he was under pressure from Israel Adonijah.
I am so impressed by Chicago's front right now. Last week against the Giants got to Michael Vick a couple of times, but they did it bringing pressure. They did a +1 blitz. If Philadelphia had 6 people in for protection, they brought 7. And today, Chicago is doing this with just their down 4.
Both teams are rushing 4. Philly's not really getting it done. A little bit they are, but Chicago's really bringing the heat on Michael Vick.
2nd and 10, LeSean McCoy finds a hole, picks up a 1st down. McCoy takes it to the Bears 41, a gain of 18. Time for a game break. Here's Kurt.
Pay attention, Saragusa. Defensive tackle Sean Smith, playing fullback, bowls his way into the end zone for Kansas City. A 1-yard score, 14-7. Chiefs lead the Seahawks. Either Goose or the Fridge are dancing right now. Maybe both.
Both my guys are happy,
great.
Kurt. It's a defensive player at the fullback position.
Let me tell you something. They should be doing more of that, Kurt. You know, he goes right in there. That was beautiful.
Now from the 41, off the play fake. Vick, downfield, 1st down. Deshaun Jackson with Urlacher on the coverage. Jackson gains 19.
Looks like them safeties are bailing out a little bit too much for Michael Vick, Darryl.
Well, you know what? A lot of these throws are deep down the field, so you got to be able to hold it. Look at how far down Deshaun Jackson gets. The throw by Michael Vick is amazing. So he's got to have some time to throw it, but watch him stand in the face of pressure by Tommy Harris. Just hangs in there and then just throws a laser to Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, he just sits down right in the area, right in front of Chris Harris and behind those linebackers. That's the area that they want to attack.
1st and 10 from the Bears 20. As Vick throws, and the catch is made by Macklin for another Eagles first down, gain of 11.
LeSean McCoy, what a great block on a defensive lineman to go and give Michael Vick time to look downfield. Here he is in the backfield right here, 25. Great job of Pisa slowing him down to give Michael Vick time. You like that, Darryl, don't you?
I know he's a pit guy and you're trying to drum him up, but Pisa's a linebacker. He's not a D lineman.
Hey, he's big enough to be a lineman, though, Darryl.
It was
Gotta give him some kind of credit.
So McCoy picking up Tino Isaboa. Now 1st and goal from the Bears 10. Shovel pass, and it hits off Nick Cole, the right guard.
That's a forward pass, though.
It was going to be a good play. If Brent Celek can make this catch, they've got Chicago upfield, both players. Look at that. He hits Nick Cole with it. If not, Brent Celek's going to catch it. Nick Cole's going to wrap around, and they've got that set up and blocked very well.
So Nick Cole getting in the way. Now 2nd and goal. McCoy, alone back. 3 receivers. Avant. Slot to the left. Vick takes off. He's inside the 5. Dives forward to the 3-yard line. Gain of 7.
Todd Harriman does a great job downfield of blocking for Michael Vick. That was a design quarterback draw. Nice job. You talked about it earlier, Dow. That's something, you know, when you're playing against Michael Vick and the Philadelphia Eagles, you got to be aware of that. Even right now, those linebackers still have that play back in their head. Is any time you could go in a quarterback draw and go for the end zone.
3rd down and 3. Vick under pressure from Peppers, loses the football, and it's down back at the 18-yard line.
Just great team defense by Julius Peppers. Understanding who's playing quarterback, understanding what your responsibility is in the defense, and playing him to a T.
But if you're going to block anybody, you block Julius Peppers. And they have him completely unblocked. Look like Owen Schmidt did not get the block on him. You can't let him come scot-free because he will take your quarterback down and force fumbles like we just saw.
So now a 36-yard attempt by Akers. David Akers now 2 for 2. But the Bears hold the Eagles to 3. Chicago leads by 1. There's Julius Peppers in the middle. He now has 6 sacks of Michael Vick in his career. That's more than any other defensive player in the NFL.
And you saw the athleticism on that last play where it's him and Michael Vick in space, and he's so athletic that as a defensive end, he can make that play. And it was funny to hear Marty Morningweg talk about this Bears defense. We think of it as a bend but don't break defense. He said, I don't see a whole lot of bend in them, and they really have been like that this afternoon. They're doing a great job against this explosive Philadelphia offense so far.
Not much bend whatsoever. Manning on the return, brought down at the 19-yard line with just over 8 minutes remaining. 2nd quarter here in Chicago. Fox's football coverage doesn't end when the games are over. After this game, stick around for the OT with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, and Michael. They will bring you exclusive interviews, extended highlights, and a look ahead to next week's action. America's #1 post-game show, the OT, presented by Lowe's, coming up after the Bears and the Eagles on Fox. Bears back at offense from their own 19-yard line. Leading by 1. Cutler hands it off to Forte, right behind the center, Olin Krutz. And Forte gains 2 out to the 21-yard line.
And look at all those Philadelphia Eagle defensive players over there to make the tackle. And it's one of the hallmarks you'll see on both of these defenses is hustle and pursuit to the ball. If you're carrying the ball, don't expect to be tackled by one player.
The Bears with 128 total yards. 100 have come on 2 plays. The Forte 61-yard run and the 39-yard pass to Devin Hester.
Now here we are talking about the explosive Philadelphia Eagle offense, and it's the Bears with a couple of big plays of their own so far this afternoon.
And those plays led to the 2 Bears touchdowns. Now Cutler under pressure, and he is sacked for the 3rd time today. It's the first of the season for Mike Patterson.
And again, Tony, it's somebody turned loose right away.
Yeah. I don't know. It's got to be a breakdown on the line of scrimmage. Let's take a look. Yeah, half the line is sliding to the left and half the line is sliding to the right. Looked like they were trying to set up a screen, but you got to get somebody on them big guys up front. You know, you just can't let them run free. Mike Patterson does a great job of just coming right upfield and sacking, you know, Jay Cutler.
They're getting fooled by a pre-snap look, Tony. They're walking the linebackers up into the A gap between the guard and center, and they're making a call for the guard to come down. And when those linebackers pull out, it's too late for them to get back on that defensive tackle.
Now Cutler on 3rd down and 16, in trouble, sacked for the 4th time today. And for the 2nd time, it's Trent Cole.
And how many people do we talk about that play left tackle around the league that say Trent Cole is one of the toughest guys to block? And Frank Omiel's got him right there. He has great pad level. He has a relentless motor. You have to block him for the entire time, but a lot of people look at him as a speed rusher, but because of the leverage he plays with, he's also a strength guy.
So now Maynard punting out of his own end zone. And this will set up terrific field position for the Eagles as the fair catch is called for by Deshaun Jackson at the Bears 46. 2 sacks for Trent Cole today.
Offensive line coach Mike Tice getting with his guys on the sideline, trying to get them on the same page. They have not been good the last 2 series with their protection.
You got to love how the offensive linemen, too, all sit in order. Olin Kreutz in the middle, his left guard's on his left, his right guard's on his right. Those guys are great.
All the time, Goose.
Creatures of habit on the offensive side of the ball.
Absolutely.
Creatures of habit.
Mike Tice, of course, the former Vikings head coach. Eagles start from the Bears 46. And McCoy is tackled for a loss of 2 by DJ Moore.
And you can see that coming in, and a lot of times an offense will have the ability for one of the wide receivers to motion in and make that block. He could have motioned in here and then peeled out and blocked DJ Moore.
Now 2nd down and 12. For the Eagles, who trail the Bears by a point. From the 48-yard line. Vick to the tight end, Brent Selleck. Selleck tackled at the 39. Gain of 9.
Tell you what, the Chicago Bears defensive line with these line stunts up front. Watch the tackle end right here. Yeah. Nice job of Israel Adonijah coming around. I mean, these guys work so well together. Tackle ends, I see. Ends going first, tackles around. It's really hurting this offensive line for the Eagles right now.
You can see the hits starting to pile up on Michael Vick here in the first half.
Split backs, McCoy and Harrison, 3rd down and 3. Eagles must get to the 36. Vick throws, the catch is made, and diving for a first down is Macklin. Gain of 5, so Jeremy Macklin with his 3rd reception, including a touchdown early in the 2nd quarter.
I think it's funny, Tony, when you watch the way defenses attack, and right now it looks as though the Bears feel like on their defensive left, going up against Winston Justice and Nick Cole, they're going to challenge those two to move their feet. And we saw that stunt on back-to-back plays with Israel Adonijah coming up the field and then wrapping under. Now they've got Julius Peppers working that side.
From the Bears 34, inside handoff to Harrison, who gained over 100 yards on the ground 2 weeks ago against the Washington Redskins. And Harrison takes it down to the 32-yard line, gain of 2. Under 4 minutes remaining, 2nd quarter from Soldier Field in Chicago. Both teams in first place with records of 7-3. Bears lead by 1. 2nd and 8. 3 wide receivers set for the Eagles. Vick over the middle, complete for a first down to Avant. Jason Avant takes it down to the Bears' 22-yard line before he's brought down by Lance Briggs.
This has been a nice adjustment by Marty Mornhinweg right there, and the plays that he's calling. All right, they're going to drop their coverage deep. Let's start working those little small windows underneath. You see Brian Urlacher running out. He's going to drop down into the middle of the field and leave that open. Nice release, nice follow through by Michael Vick.
From the Bears' 22-yard line, Vick backpedaling, sets up the screen to McCoy, and LeSean McCoy has another Eagles first down as he is finally brought down at the 8-yard line after picking up 14.
Slow to get up right now.
Yeah,
See what happens at the end of this screen.
looks like he could have landed right on that ball, little Darryl.
And remember, McCoy has had a shoulder issue. 1st and goal from the 8 when we return.
Looks like LeSean McCoy re-injured that right shoulder. He's been carrying that with him all season long after week 4. Just unbelievable his performance against San Francisco in week 5 that he was able to play. You see, when you come down on that shoulder and then you've got the body weight of the defender, it just wreaks havoc in that joint.
He's buckling back up, though. Those pick guys are tough, Darryl.
I tell you, he's earned everybody's respect this season, Tony.
Replaced by Harrison on this play. 1st and goal from the 8. Vick out of the shotgun. Vick saw Peppers, gets rid of it to Harrison, and Urlacher makes the tackle as Harrison gains 4 yards down to the 4 of Chicago as we hit the 2-minute warning. Here at Soldier Field, McCoy looking to come back in. Eagles on the move, trailing by 1. Two minutes to go, 2nd quarter in Chicago. Bears lead the Eagles by 1. 2nd and goal for the Eagles from the Chicago 4-yard line.
And the Eagles said that LeSean McCoy just had the wind knocked out of him. It's not his shoulder, so he's back in.
McCoy in the slot to the right. Empty backfield. Vick's pass is deflected and intercepted by Chris Harris. First time Vick has been picked off all season. And who chases him down to make the tackle? LeSean McCoy. Harris comes up with his 3rd pick of the year and returns it 38 yards.
That's what happens when you get down into the red zone and you're dropping 7 guys into coverage. You're going to have a ton of hands up in the air to deflect balls, and you've got all those defenders there waiting on it. Tommy Harris gets his hand up, gets deflected. Chris Harris comes in and grabs it. Great hustle by LeSean McCoy getting back.
And Michael Vick also. He was on the trail. He wasn't going to let him go in. Nice angular pursuit, but that whole Bears defense, boy, they wanted to put 7 points on the board.
Absolutely. Did a great job of getting all the big guys sealed. It was hustled by the skill players for Philadelphia. They kept that from being a pick 6.
Vick had gone 238 attempts without a pick. His first since December of 06. And now Cutler over the middle to Hester. Heading for the sidelines. He's out of bounds at midfield. Picked up 13.
You can see how dangerous Devin Hester is when he gets that ball in his hands. The ability as a punt returner and a kick returner, once it's in space, he's extremely dangerous. Short passes to him with some area to work, and a 5-yard pass can become a touchdown.
Bears with 2 timeouts, 1:44 remaining. Looking to capitalize on the game's first turnover. Cutler to Bennett. Breaks away from Dimitri Patterson. Bennett still on his feet. Bradley couldn't bring him down. Patterson finally does at the Eagles' 8-yard line.
I think he stepped out of bounds a little earlier than that.
You're right, Goose. He's marked out at the 20. Yep. 30-yard completion from Cutler to Bennett.
Dimitri Patterson goes for the ball, misses. He's out of position. Then another missed tackle. Stuart Bradley hustling. He gets him out of bounds.
So it's the third play of at least 30 yards for the Bears on offense today.
Big plays will kill you, Darryl. Exactly what the Bears are doing right now and have all game.
And who would have thought that coming in Chicago with twice as many big plays than Philadelphia?
This is their second
Now the
charge
Bears use their
timeout.
second timeout with the play clock winding down. Coming up, the Visa halftime report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. They'll be along with scores and highlights, and the Fox Sports ticker will have all the latest stats. That's coming up on the Visa halftime report. Leslie Frazier, the former Bear, with a win in his first game as Vikings head coach. Bears have one timeout remaining. 1st and 10 from the Eagles 20. After the Eagles commit the game's first turnover. They were on the Chicago 4-yard line, and Vic's pass was deflected and then intercepted by Chris Harris. And now the Bears look to extend their lead prior to halftime. 3 wide receivers set. Cutler has time, throws, looking for Hester in the end zone. Lindley and Allen on the coverage.
Good job in coverage there. They had a nice route combination, but they didn't fool Philadelphia's secondary. You're going to have Johnny Knox on the whip, which is in and then back out. Devin Hester slips a little bit at the top of the route, but Trevor Lindley in a good position to defend that.
Cutler feeling that pressure a little bit. He stands in there, though, in that pocket and gets a throw off.
You know, Goose, I think that was part of that play. You come back on a 3-step, you pump it to Johnny Knox on that little inside-out move, and then you take 2 more to be able to take your long shot down the field.
2nd and 10. Cutler gets rid of it quickly to Johnny Knox inside the 10 and tackled by Stuart Bradley at the 6-yard line. 14-yard pass play.
Well, good coverage on the previous play, but not on that one. Somebody left Johnny Knox on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a huge cushion right there on Johnny.
That's a lot to ask Trevor Lindley to get down there to make that play. He's on the outside. Johnny Knox goes into the slot area. He's got to come down from about, he's about 8 or 10 yards off the ball.
1st and goal from the Eagles 6. Cutler, end zone, off the right shoulder of Bennett. No flags. Osalio Hansen on the coverage.
What'd you think, Goose? I thought it was a good no call. You're right there.
Yeah, no, I thought that was good coverage.
Working out of the slot. Gets his head around. I think that's nice by the officials letting him play. You get your eyes back on the football, and you'll get that no call.
Second and goal from the 6. Cutler backpedaling. Now goes the other way. Bennett, touchdown.
Jay Cutler has everybody fooled with his eyes. Everybody looking to the left. Winds up throwing to the right. Fooled all those defenders.
And he got me, Tony. I was focused on Devin Hester out in the slot to the offense's left.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a fade to the corner. Watch him right here. He's looking off to the left-hand side. All the defenders looking that way. Comes back right, just dumps the ball right off.
I tell you, that was not a lot of area for him to make this throw either. Watch Quentin Michael, number 27, in coverage. That's a heck of a throw by Jay Cutler off the back foot. And as you pointed out, Tony, sold it really well to the other side. What a big turn of events at the end of the half. It looks like Philly's going to maybe go in for a touchdown to go up 20-14 going in at halftime. Now 21-13 Chicago. The defense makes the pick, and then the offense picks it up and has a great drive to finish it for 7.
First career 2-touchdown game for Bennett. Bears now tied with the Eagles for the league lead in takeaways, and we asked Lovie Smith about it. He said in our first meeting this week, we emphasized just that, takeaways. Philadelphia has 26. We have 25. Bears with the first takeaway today, and it leads to a touchdown.
It's a cornerstone of what Lovie Smith has instilled here with this defense, is taking the ball away. And Rod Marinelli is doing a great job as defensive coordinator. But their issue has been turning the ball over. And the last 3 weeks, they've done a great job of not turning it over.
Calvin on the return for Philadelphia. Stop shy of the 25. So Michael Vick intercepted for the first time this season by Chris Harris. Bears drive down and score. They now lead by 8. Eagles with 31 seconds and all 3 of their timeouts. Vick 14 of 21. McCoy with 59 yards of offense. Vick out of the shotgun. Eagles keep it on the ground with McCoy. And he's tackled at the 29-yard line. And the Eagles use their first timeout. We are 25 seconds of game time away from the Visa halftime report with Kirk, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Leslie Frazier replacing Brad Childress as Vikings head coach earlier this week. And how about the last couple of minutes in Atlanta? Aaron Rodgers throwing the game-tying touchdown pass to Jordy Nelson. And then the Falcons win it with a late field goal.
The poise by Matt Ryan this year. He did it again against Baltimore earlier this year. And so impressed with what Matt Ryan has done in his short career for the Atlanta Falcons. His home record, only 1 loss. That's unbelievable.
19-1 at the Georgia Dome. Second down and 4. Eagles with 2 timeouts remaining. Vick over the middle to Avant. Avant down at the 36, his 4th reception. And the Eagles will stop the clock once again using their second timeout.
Chicago's going to be more than happy to let Michael Vick check the ball down in these situations. Obviously, with 19 seconds left, you can't let the big play happen. David Akers got a strong leg.
Yeah, but he's not going to hit anything.
He got the wind in his face.
Far away.
He's got the wind in his face going this way, Goose. Or has he got a little bit of help from behind?
I think he's got a little bit of help, but not that much help. I don't think he can make an 80-yarder. Nah, 72, little long.
A little long?
Yeah, a little bit.
And that would be a first.
We need a hurricane behind him.
Just keep blowing, Goose. You're in the opposite end zone.
Yeah.
From the 36. Vick fires out of bounds. 14 seconds remaining in the half. 3 touchdown passes for Jay Cutler today on only 7 completions. Cutler is 7 for 10 with 3 touchdowns.
Just be efficient with it, and they're embracing that role. We talked about it earlier in the first half. You know, this team is built around their defense. Their defense is going to be the key to how this season unfolds. They have good special teams, and they have one of the best returners in the history of the game in Devin Hester. So as an offense, go out, be efficient, be effective on 3rd down, give yourself some opportunities. Just don't make the critical mistake.
Vick complete to Avant. That's for the sidelines. And is out of bounds at the 46 with 7 seconds remaining. There's Akers. Eagles still with the 1 timeout remaining.
Those safeties are still bailing out there, Darryl. If they can sneak in a 25-yarder right here, they still have 1 timeout, and maybe you can get a shot.
You've got, you can play the middle of the field because you've got that timeout left. You have enough time in the 7 seconds to get it down. I'm thinking, you know, what do you think, Goose, around the 33, 34 is a legitimate shot?
Yeah, about 20 yards. Akers' season high is 49. His career long is 57. Vick has to get rid of it quickly. And then the Eagles need a timeout. But the time running down here as Vic throws, and the first half will come to an end. There is a flag. Flag at midfield.
He might have crossed the line of scrimmage before he released that ball, guys.
Illegal forward pass. Quarterback was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw. Offensive foul. Last play of the half. The half is over.
So the Eagles came so close to taking the lead, but Vic picked off for the first time this season. Bears capitalized. Cutler with 3 first-half touchdown passes, 2 to Earl Bennett. And Chicago takes a 21-13 lead over Philadelphia into the locker room at halftime here at Soldier Field.
They've done a great job. That defense is built not to give up the big play. So far, so good in the first half for Chicago's defense.
Bears lead by 8. The Visa halftime report is coming up next. Back in Chicago as we get set for the start of the second half. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Bears with an 8-point lead over the Eagles, and big plays have been the key for Chicago. 3 scoring drives. They only had the ball for 10.5 minutes in the first half, but 3 plays of 30 or more yards all led to a Bears touchdown.
Well, being very productive on their early downs. They're 0 for 3 on third down. They don't even need third down. They're converting on first and second downs with those big plays. So it's been a great game to watch. Really enjoyed this so far. I think it's everything we expected it to be. It's been played very well. Very few penalties. Chicago's doing a great job of corralling Michael Vick with their down 4. We'll have to see what adjustments were made during the course of the first half and into halftime. But I've been very, very happy to have been a part of this one. This has been fun to watch.
Devin Hester's back, guys. Returning this kickoff.
David Akers will get things started. And the second half in Chicago is underway. Taken out the goal line by Hester. Hester across the 30, still on his feet, the 40, and then he stumbles down as he crosses the 45, a 46-yard return by Hester.
You know, you can have a great return guy, but you've also got to have 10 other guys on that team with you to do a good job with their blocking. And he sets it up nice by kind of starting towards the middle to the left side of the field, then breaks right and picks up a lot of nice blocks. And Kirk Coleman did a good job of fighting to the outside to get him turned back inside, but the other blockers had pinned everybody from Philadelphia inside the hash.
Looks like he almost tripped up on one of his own players.
There's Bobby April right there, special teams coach. And he can't be happy with that one. I mean, it's dangerous. You've got to kick to him every once in a while and have trust and faith in your cover team.
So for the 3rd time today, Bears start from across their 40-yard line as Cutler hands it off to Matt Forte. And Forte up to the 48-yard line, gain of 2. Eagles can't bring him down. Some extracurricular activity.
Olin Kreutz always has a couple extra things to say.
And you see right there, you know, pretty clean half. The 1 turnover, great deflection by Tommy Harris. Chris Harris intercepts that. But we're pretty even total yards. Philadelphia really doing a nice job. I was impressed with them offensively in the first half. We talked about how Chicago plays defense and that they would have to be methodical. You know, until that last drive by Chicago, they were almost 2-to-1 plays and time of possession.
Cutler on 2nd and 8, moving to his right. Now he lobs it up for Hester. Hester stayed in bounds and takes it down the sideline. There's a late flag after Hester was brought down by Nate Allen. Gain of 34 yards.
Well, you always talk about doing your job, and you're going to see here where Ernie Sims drops Devin Hester in coverage because he's going to come up and make a play on Jay Cutler. And then Jay Cutler makes a nice little lob throw over the top.
Horse collar tackle, number 29, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So tack on half the distance following the horse collar tackle by Allen as he brought down Hester from behind after a gain of 34. So that is the 4th play of 30 or more yards by the Bears on offense. Bears have gained 164 yards in those 4 plays we've been talking about.
Very surprising to see Chicago hitting this Philly defense with those big plays consistently throughout the game.
First and goal from the 9, off the play fake. Cutler to the end zone, and Greg Olsen has a touchdown. He took it away from Dimitri Patterson.
Dimitri Patterson's just a step late. He recognizes the drag on the bootleg coming. He tries to get back, but a little size advantage. Greg Olsen goes up, as you pointed out. Kenny takes it away, lands in bounds for the touchdown.
First catch today for Olsen, and Jay Cutler ties his career high with his 4th touchdown pass. Back in Chicago on the Sunday after Thanksgiving, another big play leads to a Bears touchdown. In this case, 2 big plays, both by Devin Hester. Kickoff return and then the reception of 34 yards. Here's Jordan Calvin for the Eagles. Cuts to the outside. And is forced out of bounds after he crosses the 30.
Well, we always talk about football being a game of inches, and Dimitri Patterson recognizes this play. He's trying to get back to make the interception. Jay Cutler gets it up high enough, and then a little bit of that size advantage with Greg Olsen working back to the ball. Very aggressive at the point of the catch. Good job. Yeah, you saw Greg Olsen roll out the back of the end zone, so you know, you're thinking that, hey, did he get down in bounds? And Andy Reid was hoping the replay would show that he didn't, but he did.
So now the Eagles in a 15-point hole as Vick fires downfield. Brett Selleck, the intended receiver.
And this is where you've kind of played into the hands of this Bears defense, because it's going to be hard to get back in. You've got to stay methodical. They're not going to let these big throws down the field, and there's that one that's really going to be difficult today. Over the top of the linebacker, in front of the safety.
Second and 10 from the 31. 3 wide receivers set. Vick slits, gets back up, down he goes. And he also lost the football. Recovered by his center, Mike McClain.
Gets back to plant, slips down on the ground. Now you're up and going. The ball's in one hand. And there's the punch.
You talked about it earlier, Darryl, about keeping the feet underneath your body. Mike just gets his feet out from under him a little bit, and with the surface out there and not the right shoes, that's exactly what happens. See the ball coming out right there. Nice job by Anthony Adams.
4th Bears sack, 3rd down at 18. And with the play clock winding down, did Andy Reid call timeout in time?
Timeout, Philadelphia.
He did.
This is their first charge timeout.
So when we come back, 3rd and long for Vick and the Eagles. Welcome back to Chicago. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa.
Goose, you didn't like that timeout call, huh?
Yeah, you know, 3rd and 19, you know, I don't think Andy should have called that timeout. Yeah, 3rd and 24, I don't think there's much of a difference. Do you, Darryl?
No, I agree.
So you guys thought they should have taken the delay of game, saved the timeout, hand off to LaShawn McCoy, and he takes it out to the 35. So Andy calls a running play anyway, and the Eagles will punt. Well,
He may need that. Down 15 right now. Timeouts are more more important than 5 yards at that point. If it was a 3rd and 1 or a 3rd and 2, maybe
Yeah,
even
then I
3rd
could
and
see
3.
it.
Yeah, we'll think about it there, but I agree with you, Goose.
Rocca waiting back at his own 20-yard line.
Rocca needs to punt this ball away, too.
Hester back at the 25 for the Bears. Hester will let it bounce, and it takes an Eagles roll all the way down to the 12-yard line, where it's down by Riley Cooper, who gives Rasheed Davis a bit of a shove. Well, during this Thanksgiving weekend, the NFL promoting children to be active via the NFL Play 60 program. And that is former Bear wide receiver Marcus Robinson, now coaching a youth football team, the Algonquin Argonauts. And they are the Bears Play 60 ambassadors. They led the Bears out onto the field before the game and took part in a game during halftime against a group of mascots.
I like that pylon there at the end. That was nice.
You got to get your 60 minutes in, though, right, Goose?
Absolutely. More
Especially
than
after
60.
Thanksgiving.
At least 60.
I'm a little short this weekend.
All right, here's Matt Forte. There is a flag back at the 12-yard line.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's on the left guard, Chris Williams. I'm not so sure that you're short. You and our producer, Barry Landis, Darryl, walked about 5 miles from our hotel to the Eagles hotel last night.
I was a little bit short during the course of the week. I got a lot of making up to do, Kenny. I was enjoying myself Thursday with Thanksgiving dinner.
I don't know. That's a pretty good walk down Michigan Avenue.
I had a salad on Thursday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Before I had all my turkey and lasagna and everything else.
Following the penalty, the give to Forte. And Forte stays on his feet across the 30 and finally tackled at the 34. Matt Forte gains 28 yards, another big play for Chicago.
And an opportunity for Philadelphia to kind of establish some field position. It's been all Bears with the start of these drives, and he has run so strong today. You see him shrug off that tackle up near the shoulder pads. But Mike Martz wanted to attack Philadelphia on the perimeter. He was going to challenge Jose-Leo Hansen and Dimitri Patterson to tackle on the edges. Some of these big plays have come on those runs to the outside.
Forte had a 61-yard earlier, that one 28. Cutler moving to his right, chased by Patterson. Stays in bounds, tiptoeing up the sidelines, and finally out of bounds at the 46 after picking up a Bears first down, a gain of 12.
His decision-making has been very, very good over the last 4 weeks. And one of the things that got Jay Cutler in trouble was his decisions that led to interceptions.
Check out those 5 big plays, accounting for 192 of the Bears' total yards.
And we're not even putting in some of the big returns by Devin Hester in special teams that's leading to great field position.
From the 46-yard line on first down, Taylor, and he is met in the backfield by Antonio Dixon. Loss of 4. And getting back to those big plays, as we take one more look at the terrific play by Dixon.
Another person unblocked there, Darryl. Antonio Dixon coming scot-free.
Yeah, I don't know how some of these guys are getting turned loose on the inside.
Wow. Tell you what, when Chicago blocks those guys up front, the 4 down linemen, the big plays just keep coming. When they leave somebody unblocked, they're finding themselves with tackles for a loss.
Now Cutler, guys, split out to the right. Earl Bennett takes the snap. Hands off to Forte, and he's across midfield into Eagles territory.
I don't understand the Wildcat. I haven't quite figured it out yet, Goose. You move the quarterback out, and to me you're playing 10 against 11. I'm going to take that guy and get him in here.
Yeah, Jay has a nice, nice speed off the ball. That was great.
I'm not really worried about that.
He didn't play 60 on that one.
No, he didn't.
No.
Out for a leisurely stroll. 3rd down and 5. Cutler loses the football, Winds up in the hands of Forte, or was that a shovel pass?
I think it was a flip.
Cutler was surrounded by Eagles and somehow was able to get rid of it. And Forte gained 6.
Heads up play by Jay Cutler. He is surrounded by the defense. They're bringing 5, maybe 6. Little shuffle pass right up front.
Wow.
Great job by Matt Forte, too, because he had to come across and pick up Ernie Sims on the blitz. And then a smart play to turn around and take a look back at his quarterback. Look at that by Jay Cutler.
Forte picked up the first down at the Eagles 43. We'll be back. Welcome back with the Bears leading the Eagles 28-13. Coming up following this game, the OT. From our studios in Los Angeles, scores, highlights, interviews. Terrific day in the NFL. Great ending in Atlanta on Fox earlier. Falcons over the Packers. Cutler's pass broken up. Nice play by Patterson, Dimitri Patterson, diving to keep it out of the hands of Johnny Knox.
Really nice play by Dimitri Patterson. Right at the end of this, you look at the ground, he's got to make up on that shallow cross by Johnny Knox, and great hand-to-eye at the point of the catch.
This defense, though, Darryl, Dimitri Patterson, nice play on that one, but Asante Samuel makes this team better. This Eagle defense, and I think they're missing him a little today.
Samuel out, Ellis Hobbs out. This is Chester Taylor. Time for another game break. Here's Kurt.
AFC West leading Kansas City at NFC West leading Seattle. Matt Hasselbeck hooking up with his tight end. Chris Baker, the former Jet, 13-yard score. It's a 21-17 Kansas City lead in the third quarter. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Goose, when we headed off and you talked about Asante Samuel, I think the big thing there, too, is he's a risk taker. And this Philadelphia defense needs turnovers. They had 5 last week against the Giants. And you look at right there, both of their starting corners out. Asante with 7 interceptions up until this point this year,
which leads the league. The catch is made by Earl Bennett with Trevard Lindley all over him. Bennett gains 10 and a Bears first down.
And it's the trickle-down effect once you get into a nickel situation. Trevard Lindley, who's really only had 2 opportunities during the course of the season to play extended defensive snaps. He had a big interception against San Francisco late in the game. But other than that, he's been mainly special teams. He comes on the field in the nickel situations. Now, you're talking about your 2 starting corners out. And these guys have done well, but it's not the same defense we saw last week against the Giants.
From the 31, off the fake to Taylor. Cutler down back at the 34. Quentin Michael quickly into the backfield.
Quentin Michael sneaks up onto the line of scrimmage and comes right in on Jay Cutler, misses him, and then keeps going. Grabs his leg. You see him right here down at the bottom of your screen. He comes in, not sure who has the ball, makes a shot at it, but keeps coming and grabs the leg of Jay Cutler to get him down.
Ernie Sims is the injured Eagle with just over 6 minutes remaining in the third. Eagles linebacker Ernie Sims injured on the last play. Second down and 13 for Chicago. 10th play of this drive started at their own 12-yard line, and then they were forced back to the 6 following a penalty. The slant is caught by Forte for a first down. Matt Forte takes it to the Eagles' 16, a 17-yard pass play.
Take Matt Forte, split him outside. He's a very good receiver. Runs a good slant route right there. Trevard Lindley playing way off. Jay Cutler a little bit happier on that throw than he was on the one a few plays ago.
Yes.
All of a sudden, Ernie Sims comes out. They go right after that area where he would be in. Challenge that guy that comes off the bench.
Smart by Mike Martz.
Absolutely.
first down. Here's Forte, who's run for over 100 yards today.
But here's what I like so far this afternoon, Tony, is you haven't gotten stubborn, because you do have the two starting cornerbacks for Philadelphia's defense out. So you would think, hey, we've got an advantage when we're throwing the ball. But we've had this formula that has worked so well for us over the last month of the season. Continue to stay with it. They've run the ball with Matt Forte. They've stayed balanced this afternoon. They haven't tried to push something that's not there.
And also working that clock, running the ball.
Now, this has been an impressive drive right here.
Absolutely.
Second down and 4. Down to the 10-yard line is Forte. As we approach 4 minutes remaining, third quarter, Sean McDermott, Eagles defensive coordinator. The chess match with Mike Martz. Bears lead by 15.
Really one of the matchups we didn't talk a whole lot about at the top. We talked about Bears defense against the Eagles offense. Tony mentioned special teams and Devin Hester. But really the one that's really tilted the tide right now is this Bears offense against the Philly defense. Chicago's offense has been outstanding this afternoon. Big plays, and here a methodical drive to just chew up this clock.
Cutler with 4 touchdown passes today. Third and 2. Catch is made by Manu Maliuna. And he takes it down inside the 5-yard line and picks up a Bears first down. Third catch of the season for Brandon Manu Maliuna.
Here comes the big guy, the tight end, playing that fullback position. A little flashlight there. You see he gets Moses Foku to brace for the hit. Falls on the ground. Matt Forte doesn't even have to block him. That allows Jay Cutler. He's got a clear lane out to Brandon Manu Maliuna out in the flat.
3 wide receivers set. First and goal from the Eagles 4. Taylor in the backfield. And the handoff to Chester Taylor, former Viking and Raven. And he is forced back.
Looks like Philadelphia was wanted it offsides by the Chicago Bears offense, but they got reset. How about that time of possession right there, guys?
Oh, this has been just an unbelievable drive, Tony.
The Eagles had the huge edge in the first half, over 19 minutes to 10.5. This will be the 15th play of the drive, longest drive of the season for Lovie Smith's Bears. And lining up in the backfield is Manu Maliuna along with Taylor. This is Taylor once again. Takes it up the middle.
Chester Taylor, the ball carrier.
So the Bears now facing third and goal from the 5.
Bringing Devin Hester in this situation.
If you're bringing Devin Hester in, you better block him, because they're going to try and get the ball to him some way. That's a long drive for this defense of the Philadelphia Eagles. Those guys got to be sucking wind. It is not easy.
Artie Sims back in, 16th play of the drive.
Devin Hester and Trevard Lindley out here. Trevard Lindley in there as the nickelback.
Cutler on third and goal. Looking end zone, now he throws. Johnny Knox, the intended receiver, and the Bears will send out the field goal unit.
Kind of a double move. It's going to be a slant and then back out to the corner. Good coverage by Trevard Lindley. Kind of a mirrored route, kind of the same thing on the other side. Covered very well by Philadelphia.
So Robbie Gould now to attempt a 23-yard field goal. The snap by Patrick Mattingly. The kick by Gould is good. Mattingly, the long snapper, first Bear in history to reach 200 career games. Bears extend their lead. Goose and some of his friends.
Making some new friends down there on the sidelines. Here comes a guy with some good advice from Goose.
You think it's easy being down here on the sideline, don't you now?
It has its challenges, like everything else, I imagine.
Yeah, it does. I'm sure you have a couple of these guys up in your booth, too. Nice, great.
They're all lining up for a team photo.
What am I supposed to do here now?
I have no idea, Goose. play the guitar.
Can't beat him, join him.
We'll see you next week at the Meadowlands, Goose. Warwick Calvin on the return. Spins across the 30, and then we're wrapped up. Well, NASCAR season may be over, but Fox is already revving up for another exciting year. It all begins this February with the running of the Great American Race live from Daytona International Speedway. It's the Daytona 500 this February only on Fox. How about Jimmy Johnson? The only driver to win 5 consecutive championships in the Sprint Cup Series. What car does he drive, Darryl?
48.
Yep, you got
Absolutely.
it.
That's an amazing accomplishment.
5 in a row. Vic handing off to LaShawn McCoy. McCoy out to the 36-yard line. Adonijay, the tackle, gain of 5. Turning point in this game, excuse me, Goose, was the interception thrown by Vic. Eagles trailed by 1. They were going in on the Bears' 4-yard line.
Yeah, Tommy Harris, I'll tell you what, Tommy Harris comes through the line of scrimmage right here, gets his hand up, tips the ball, and that's the first interception for Michael Vick this year, which was a big one and a turning point, like you mentioned, Kenny, in this game.
Bears have scored 17 unanswered points since that time. Jeremy Maclin down to the Bears' 39-yard line.
And remember, this is an element that's built into this Philadelphia offense throughout their playbook is the big play down the field. And they've just got to have a sense of urgency as they work through this. We're winding down here towards the end of the third quarter. But what I'd like to see is you can't get into the huddle anymore at this stage. There's got to be an up-tempo. You've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and have that ability to call your plays to use as less clock as you possibly can.
Ball comes loose on the attempted handoff from Vic to McCoy. Eagles hang on to the football on the recovery by Avant. Third quarter comes to an end in Chicago with the first place Bears leading the first place Eagles. Fox NFL Sunday will return. We start the fourth quarter in Chicago. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa, Barry Landis, our producer, our director, Michael Frank. With the Bears leading the Eagles 31-13. Second down and 12. Off the play fake to McCoy. Vic fires downfield. And that pass was in the vicinity of Jeremy Maclin.
Yeah, but Jeremy Maclin has to continue through on that route. He tried to slow down into a window on the front side of Brian Urlacher, and Michael Vick wanted him to continue through. Watch right here, he's going to gear it down in that window. You see as those linebackers drop, there's Pisa Tino Isamoa and Brian Urlacher dropping into that zone coverage. You don't want to run through the zone, but you've got to be in sync on which window you're going to hold up into.
Now third down and 12. Eagles must get to the 30 for a first down. Vick steps up, takes off, and is close. Tackled by Julius Peppers.
That's amazing.
Right around the 30-yard line.
Now there's an example of what, whether you talk to Lovie Smith, Rod Marinelli, Brian Urlacher, of what Julius Peppers means to this defense. There's the knee down. The ball is about a yard short. If Lovie Smith wanted to challenge this.
Generous spot. Looked like Vick's knee was down at the 31. Here come the chains.
But that is what Julius Peppers has brought to this defense. I mean, the hustle, but I mean, you have to account for him, so other people are going to have success in their pass rush because you're so worried about Julius Peppers. But he's been phenomenal against the run. There's a great example of his hustle right there.
Fourth and inches. Andy Reid will leave his offense on the field. It would be a 48-yard field goal attempt from this spot, but the Eagles will go for it. Fourth and inches.
I don't think it could just be a quarterback sneak. This is a great opportunity for an offense to fake that quarterback sneak and get the ball downfield to one of those receivers that are spread out.
No quarterback sneak. Vick spins and picks up the first down. Lance Briggs thought he had him in the backfield, but Vick dives forward, and the Eagles get a new set of downs.
A lot of people, Kenny, think they have Michael Vick when he's in his grasp. And don't be fooled. Just because you're touching him doesn't mean that you got him tackled. See that spin right there? Michael dives ahead. Here it is in slow motion. Spin move, boom, upfield for the first.
And look who's coming. Another step sooner. Brian Urlacher might have been there in time to
That could have
make
been a
that a
fumble.
close one.
That's right.
From the 29 on first down, Vick sets up the screen to McCoy inside the 20, the 10, and knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
I don't think anybody has a better screen game in the NFL than the Philadelphia Eagles, and a lot of it has to do with their personnel. They use everybody, but watch this. This is such a great sell. But the offensive linemen, watch the three big guys out in front. They're so effective downfield. Very rarely do they get out in space and miss.
Saw them defensive linemen also from the Bears chase him down. That's that hustle you talked about earlier, Darryl.
McCoy picked up 21. First and goal from the 8. Here's McCoy with the fullback Schmidt leading the way. And McCoy gains 2 down to the Bears' 6-yard line.
And again, a sense of urgency right now. You're down 18. You know, you don't have to be in 2-minute mode, but you've got to find that happy medium right now. Rod Marinelli more than happy if you're going to keep huddling up here.
Quarterback draw area, Darryl. Talked about it earlier.
Empty backfield, 3 receivers to the right. Vick had another pass deflected at the line.
This is probably the 3rd or 4th time we've seen this today, and I'm sure it's part of the game plan, but that's Julius Peppers. And by
There's
design,
no white shirt on him at all.
And by design, Tony, I mean, I just don't know if you can get the ball out quick enough and be effective. Yep.
10th play of the drive for the Eagles. 3rd and goal. Vick swings it out. Clay Harbor taken down at the 2-yard line by Charles Tillman.
That's an interesting formation. Andy Reid and Marty Mornhinweg, they will make you think that was a 2 tight end backfield with Brent Selleck at the fullback and Clay Harbor at the tailback.
Gain of 3. 4th and goal.
So the Eagles will send out the field goal unit to try and make this a 2-possession game. Akers is 2 for 2. This will be a 22-yard attempt from the left hash. Rocket places it down, and Akers' kick is good. So Akers 3 for 3. Bears lead by 15. The Chicago Bears know that the Green Bay Packers lost today. A win by the Bears, and they would have a 1-game lead. Plus, they beat Green Bay in their first meeting of the season. On the other side, the Philadelphia Eagles, 7-3. New York Giants, 7-4, following their win today over Jacksonville. Eagles beat the Giants last week, and they will meet again December 19th.
They're lining up onside kick. Do you agree with this right here?
I don't agree with this. I'll tell you what, they're going to lose a guy on the outside too because the wind's blowing so hard, the ball's not staying up.
But you bring him in from the opposite side. You can bring him in from the other side and hold it. But yeah, you just gave up a 17-play, 10-minute and 5-second drive. But at 11:51 right now, with a 2-possession game, I hope this is a bluff. Right now, I mean, it's going to be hard for David Akers to be effective kicking this onside to the left with the holder there.
Yeah, it is a fake now. Instead, he kicks it downfield, and it's taken at the 2 by Danielle Manning. Another big return. There is a flag as Manning is finally tackled by Riley Cooper at the Eagles' 46-yard line. The flag's back at the 32.
Well, they got lucky there was a penalty. They might as well have tried the onside kick. Danielle Manning ran it back so far.
Wow. 51-yard return.
During the return, holding, 53, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Nick Roach.
Right in the middle of your screen right there against Moses Foku. If he goes to the ground, you're going to get a flag.
Bears lead the Eagles 31-16. Big penalty committed by Nick Roach. Bears lose 36 yards on the exchange.
I mean, you got 1st and 10 at the Philadelphia 46-yard line as opposed to starting inside your own 20. Philadelphia got very, very lucky.
Jay Cutler, 13 of 18 with 4 touchdown passes today for the Chicago Bears. As he hands it off on first down. And Forte is wrapped up, tackled by Ernie Sims with 11.5 remaining. The OT coming up with Kurt, Terry, Jimmy, Howie, and Michael as they will wrap up the day. Scores and highlights, interviews as well. The OT coming up following the Eagles and the Bears. Second and 10, Olsen in motion. Cutler to the air on second down. The catch is made by Johnny Knox. First down and more. Across midfield. Ball's out. He loses the football. Bears recover. 34 yards. That is the 5th play for the Bears offense of at least 30 yards today.
And look how far the ball is thrown down the field. This is just a simple play. It's a slant that goes behind a flat route. It's a good catch and run by Johnny Knox. But again, just the depth in the secondary for Philadelphia has been an issue today.
Javard Lindley, he slipped a little bit too on the coverage. Once again, that footing comes into play here.
And then it was Greg Olsen on the recovery.
Great hustle by Greg Olsen.
Timeout called by the Bears. 10:05 remaining in the 4th. Big day for the Chicago Bears. They've scored a season-high 31 points. Lead the Philadelphia Eagles 31-16.
Maybe a little bit of a pattern here. You look at Jay Cutler, how effective he has been to his right side throwing the football. Only 2 for 4 to the left.
Cutler handing it off to Forte. And he's tackled at the 46-yard line.
And guess who would normally be playing the left defensive corner, which is Jay Cutler's right side, is Asante Samuel. And Tony talked about this earlier in the game. He has been missed today. His coverage skills, he studies so much. He's going to jump things. And Jay Cutler's one of those guys that I think that Asante Samuel probably could have baited into some bad throws today. And with him not being there, now all of a sudden you lose that ability to take the ball away.
Yeah, those timing throws, they're the ones he jumps, man. Darryl.
Into the game Sunday night against the Giants.
Whatever, I'll answer to anything, Goose. Just give me a shout.
Yeah, whatever.
Goose has been flustered by the mascots. On 2nd and 9, the end around to Hester. And he runs right into the arms of Moses Foku.
All right, Goose, we've got a teaching tool. You and I always, we coach our son's team, and we are always talking about contain. Somebody better contain Olin Kreutz right now.
Yeah, he was trying to get at Ernie Sims.
No flag at all, huh?
But I want you to watch Dimitri Patterson right here as this comes around. Watch him fight to get back outside. That's contain. You don't have to make the play, but if you can turn it back to your teammates who are going to be coming from the inside out. So Dimitri Patterson doesn't make the play, but his hustle to get outside is the difference. And Olin, I mean, he took on like 3 guys there.
Goose, you would have been right in the middle of that, right?
Either that, I would have waited a couple plays.
That was a long way to run, Goose, right? That's a long way to run.
3rd down at 9. Cutler was under pressure, gets rid of it. Forte, the intended receiver. Cutler wanted a flag.
He floated this one up into the middle of the field. I know he wants a call right here, but he got lucky. He's got pressure right in his face. He's got to flood it. There's the contact that they want with Ernie Sims on Matt Forte. They want illegal contact or PI.
And now a late flag is thrown after the punting unit had come out from the Chicago sideline.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 6. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, he saw that big scuffle earlier. There was no flags. Jay Cutler decided, let me go see if I can push him a little bit more. But that didn't work. That flag came out pretty quick.
Yeah, you know what? I think he got away with the first one, but when he stayed on with it, you're going to get a flag with that one. He needs to just get his composure right now.
So the unsportsmanlike conduct costing the Bears 15 yards. Maynard's punt taken at the 26. And then Deshaun Jackson slips back at the 23-yard line. Jay Cutler fired up.
As a player, you want your quarterback to be one of the most competitive people on the field, but up into a limit. And Jay Cutler has to understand that he crossed that line on that play, and he can't do it. He did it last year, too. He had an unsportsmanlike last year in a similar situation. You've got to be able to maintain your composure. You are sitting at 14 for 20 for 247 and 4 touchdowns. All right, you can argue that call, but do it in the appropriate way.
So now it's Michael Vick and the Eagles offense back out on the field. Vick under pressure once again, and his pass is short, intended for Brent Selleck.
And this has really been the key to the game all afternoon, is the ability for Chicago to get pressure. Now they're adding some people to the mix. Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher coming that time. Hard to believe that right near the end of the first half, Philadelphia was driving for a touchdown that would have put them up 20-14. That interception by Chris Harris just spun this game completely around.
That was the turning point. Now Vick, a pump fake, looking downfield, can't find anyone. Now he throws, and the catch is made by Avant, who breaks free. And Jason Avant picks up a first down up to the 46-yard line. He gains 22.
Well, I know that Michael Vick has a strong arm, but when he starts to scramble, somebody's got to come back and help him. A lot of these guys just kept running straight down the field. You know, at some point, if you're deep, you got to work back. If you're shallow, you can go deep. Jason Avant does a nice job of kind of working back right here, sees that he's in trouble, cuts it off, and works back towards the sideline.
Midway through the fourth quarter, Bears lead by 15. Vick out of the shotgun on first down. Vick steps up. There's a penalty marker down as Vick slides to the 44-yard line, close to an Eagles first down.
You must be taking lessons from Eli Manning on how to slide, Goose.
Touche.
Well, he watched from the opposite sideline last Sunday night during that win
Illegal
over the
hands
Giants.
to the face. Defense, number 95. 5
Ooh,
yards. They added to the end of the run. First down.
That's Anthony Adams.
I mean, as one of the most athletic guys on the field, you would expect more style when he slides.
There he is on the nose, pushing the helmet up. Todd Herman.
And the funny thing about it, Goose, is he doesn't like to slide feet first. And you can see him trying to decide, should I go feet first? No, I usually go head first. And that was one of the uglier slides I've seen in the NFL this season.
He doesn't like to slide, period. From the 39, Vick to Riley Cooper. Another Eagles first down, 29-yard pass play.
All right, Goose, here's some props for your pit guy. LaShawn McCoy does an outstanding job in pass protection. Brian Urlacher, face in the numbers, stones him, stops him, and pushes him back. This is excellent.
Hands inside, hips low.
You don't see that happen very often.
That was the Eagles' longest play of the game. 29 yards from Vick to Cooper. Empty backfield. First and goal from the 10 to the end zone. DeSean Jackson, the intended receiver.
I think DeSean Jackson felt Major Wright coming at him. Watch him in right here on a little bit of a slant.
You may have been thinking about that play in the game against Atlanta.
Yeah.
Head-to-head collision with Dante Robinson.
Yeah, get that catch, get down.
Second and goal. Screen, McCoy. Nowhere to go. Tackled back at the 19-yard line.
They sniffed
it out perfectly.
Sniffed it out. You're exactly right, Kenny. Tell you what, them defensive linemen felt McCoy sliding out to the left side. They were all over. Anthony Adams does a great job, and then Julius Peppers comes in. Donajay at the, that whole defensive line wanted a piece of that one.
Yeah, that's a credit to Rod Marinelli, Goose. The old defensive line coach down in Tampa Bay, now the defensive coordinator. That's the big difference in Chicago this year, is the pursuit of that D-line.
Now chased by Peppers. Vick on third and goal, taken down by Julius Peppers from behind.
That's exactly what you got to do right there. Julius Peppers knows Michael Vick starting to get away. He dives, tries to sweep at the feet, and catches one and gets him down. See him right there, sell out, just gets the back heel of Mike Vick to get him down.
Now it's fourth and goal from the 18. Would you go for the end zone here as opposed to sending out the field goal unit?
I would check my chart. I couldn't make that decision right now, Kenny. I mean, it's tough. 18-yard shot into the end zone. Your chances. Now you're forced into an onside kick situation, but at least that gives you an opportunity for points. I like it better than a fourth and goal from the 18.
Eagles still need 2 scores. Trailing by 12 with 4:47 remaining. Well, Fox Sports is proud to support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where they are doing wonderful work each and every day to help kids battle cancer. Please join us in the fight and donate now at stjude.org/Fox Sports. 4:47 left to play, 12-point lead for the Bears, with all the talk about Michael Vick and the Eagles offense. Coming into this game, they had averaged 37 over the last 3 games. Big day for Jay Cutler and the Bears offense, and their defense has been great as well.
It's been a huge day for that offense of the Chicago Bears, and in the first half it was big plays, but really the thing that impressed me the most here was the third quarter drive. 17 plays, 10:05, really kind of put Philadelphia in a very difficult position where they find themselves at right now. You had to take that field goal at 4th and goal from the 18. I think you have to take the points, but now you definitely have to go onside kick. You're sitting still at a 2-possession game, so you've got to get those points. It can change the dynamic if you get this kick right here. But again, it was that Bears defense, that screenplay, that has been such a huge part of Philadelphia's offense throughout the season. And here again this afternoon, Chicago's defense turned it into a negative play.
Akers kicks it deep. Taken at the 4 by Hester. Cuts to the outside, forced out of bounds. So if the Eagles go for it on 4th and goal from the 18 and do not score, it's a 15-point game. You need 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. After that field goal, you still need 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's why I felt you had to go on sides there by kicking it deep. I don't know what you're accomplishing. And you can see Philadelphia's got 2. And it goes back to what Tony talked about on that 3rd and 19 when they had trouble getting the play into the huddle and they were going to lose. They were going to get a 5-yard delay game penalty. They took the timeout there. 3rd and 19, 3rd and 24. What's the difference? Now you need that 3rd timeout at this stage of the game.
And the Eagles still need to score 2 touchdowns as they trail by 12. Forte bottled up. And the Eagles, with 4:35 remaining, will use their second timeout. They have just one remaining.
Timeout, Philadelphia. This is their second charge. The 30 seconds.
31-19 lead for the Bears as they look to win their fourth consecutive game. Fox's football coverage doesn't end when the games are over. Stick around for the OT with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, and Michael. We'll bring you exclusive interviews, extended highlights, and a look ahead to next week's action. America's #1 post-game show, the OT, presented by Lowe's, coming up after the game only on Fox. As we've been mentioning throughout the game, Green Bay lost in Atlanta today. So Lovie Smith's Bears with a win would be all alone in first place in the NFC North. Jay Cutler matching his career high with 4 touchdown passes today. Threw 4 touchdowns on his first 9 completions. Here's Forte again. Not much, gains a yard. And the Eagles will use their final timeout with 4.5 remaining. And the Bears facing a 3rd down and long.
And remember that critical turn of events at the end of the first half, the deflection by Tommy Harris. Chris Harris gets the interception. Philadelphia is about ready to take the lead at 20-14. It ends up being 21-13 going in at halftime, Chicago. And then since that time, that's the culmination of that 17-play, 10-minute and 5-second drive by this Bears offense. But they have hit big plays. The most impressive thing to me with Chicago today offensively has been the 113 yards rushing by Matt Forte. Philadelphia's defense had been outstanding. Now we know they have injuries in the secondary, but you have to take your hats off to Chicago in that running game today.
The Eagles had not allowed a 100-yard rusher all season. Cutler's pass deflected by Joselio Hansen. So the Eagles use both timeouts, and now we'll get the ball back with 4:26 on the clock.
And that's an interesting play call there, you know. You stop the clock. You know, Philadelphia had to use that one early in the half. They only had 2 here to burn. You know, Joselio Hansen, you know, one more step, and he's got a pick 6 right there. That was a sketchy call right there, in my opinion. I would have, you know, run a screen, you know, something that keeps that clock going.
Now remember, with no timeouts, Eagles cannot challenge a play over the next 2.5 minutes before we hit the 2-minute warning. Fair catch called for by Deshaun Jackson at the 32. So Michael Vick and the Eagles offense back out with 4:18 on the clock.
Well, the whole thing today has been the pressure that Chicago has been able to get with just their down 4. They have mixed in a blitz from time to time, but it's been Matt Choina, Julius Peppers, Anthony Adams, Israel Adonijah. Those 4 guys have had an outstanding afternoon. Throw in Henry Melton, Tommy Harris, Marcus Harrison, that whole defensive line in that rotation.
The Eagles have faced terrific defensive units the last 2 weeks. Giants and now the Bears. Pass is caught by Avant. Takes it out to the 39-yard line for a gain of 7. Eagles have not lost a game this season in which Vick started and finished 5-0. His only loss as a starter against Washington when he was knocked out with the rib injury. On second down, complete to McCoy. Picks up a first down out to the 44-yard line.
Again, but you're playing into the hands of Chicago right now. The way that this defense is built, they're not going to allow you to get over the top. They're going to force you to throw the ball underneath. They're going to use the athleticism of their linebackers moving forward, and then the hustle and pursuit of that D-line chasing the ball.
And those safeties are still playing 20 yards deep, Darryl.
Vick dumps it off. McCoy, tackled by Briggs, across midfield at the Bears' 49, gain of 7. As you see on our Fox box, upper left, Eagles with no timeouts remaining.
They're at 22 yards right now, Goose, the safeties, and they're in a back pedal at the snap.
2nd and 3 over the top to Avant to the Chicago 43, and Eagles first down.
There's those safeties back here. I mean, look at these guys, how deep they are. Not letting anything go over the top of them for that big play.
Vick on first down, sidearm to McCoy. Another Eagles first down to the Chicago 30.
They're going to try your patience. They're going to see if you really can come out here and be methodical, moving the ball down the field.
Vick will clock it with 2:27 remaining.
Well, it's been everything that we thought it was going to be. This defense has played outstanding. And again, we talked about this in the beginning of the game, the perception of the Chicago Bears, I think, from a national level is, hey, I remember that game against the Giants. Didn't they get sacked like 9 times in the first half? And God, they look terrible. And the fact that, you know, here they are 7-3 with the loss to Green Bay today. They are on top of the NFC North. They played outstanding today against one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL.
Eagles just get the snap away. Vick backpedaling. Now he fires downfield. There's a flag. Riley Cooper, the intended receiver. Penalty marker at the 9-yard line. It's against the Eagles.
Interference, offense, number 14. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Wow, I thought it was going to be more towards the end of the play. That happened early, Goose. I don't know. That was kind of on the release.
So Riley Cooper, flagged for offensive pass interference, forces the Eagles back to the 41-yard line, second down and 20. Jackson split to the left, Macklin to the right, Avant in the slot. Vick over the top, complete to Selleck at the 30-yard line. Eagles out of timeouts as they will try and get a play off before the 2-minute warning, but are unable to. So the Bears with a 12-point lead, 2 minutes remaining. Eagles on the Chicago 30. Michael Vick has worn that S on his chest for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, but I tell you, he really deserves the Brian Urlacher, you know, just a cornerstone for this defense. Now the all-time leading tackler in the history of a very, very proud franchise. He's had a fantastic career, and he's having a great year. I mean, this is one of the best years he's had. He really impacts every week what people are trying to do in the middle of the field, throwing the football.
Urlacher with 10 tackles today. Third down and 9 from the Bears 30. And Vick's pass is too high, intended for McCoy. So the Eagles now facing a 4th down and 9 with 1:54 remaining.
I think, Goose, you just keep bringing the 4 you brought the whole time, drop me, you throw a little change up here on a big 4th down.
I don't know, man. It's been working. Stick with what it works. Looks like they're just going to bring the 4 down lineman.
Here's Vick on 4th and 9, a pump fake. Now he throws, looking for Selleck, who makes the catch for an Eagles touchdown.
How did he get
in the middle of 4 defenders? Wow.
I was waiting for somebody with the Chicago Bears to come out with the ball.
Me too.
Little stutter go, gets over the top, but you got plenty of help. That is an amazing throw, and what great concentration by Brent Selleck, who's had some trouble with drops this year.
A tremendous catch by Selleck. His 3rd touchdown reception of the season. Here's David Akers for the point after. With 1:48 remaining, the Eagles have pulled to within 5.
Well, I know we saw 2 fake onside kicks, but I bet you're going to see one here for real, Darryl.
Look at the little stutter go. Look at what you're seeing from his perspective. I'm going to fit it. I'm going to fit it right into that little 1 foot by 1 foot box.
Unbelievable. Nobody gets their head back around. Brian Urlacher gets his hands up, but
great concentration by Brent Selleck. Look at Chris Harris coming across, getting his hand on the ball. That's a great job by Brent Celek. What a throw.
He still might have that S underneath that jersey there, Kenny.
Well, for Michael Vick, his second touchdown pass today, Goose. And he has thrown for over 300 yards. 333 to be exact. So the Eagles still have life, trailing by 5, as they will set up for an onside kick. The OT coming up from our studios in Los Angeles with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. They'll have scores and highlights, interviews. David Akers, terrific percentage in his career on onside kicks.
Yeah, but the key right now, we saw it last time, is a wind. You can see it on the official slacks right there. Can he get this ball to stay up on his own? If he can, then he can go either side. Sometimes you'll see the overload, and then you'll bring it back the other direction. If he can't do that, and there's your first try, if you have to put the ball on the tee and hold it, now you define where you're going to go with that ball, because he can't adjust his angle and kick it to his right with the ball being held here. So that's a huge advantage for Chicago. In my opinion, this ball has to go to the right side of the field. You can't pull it back into this area and try and trick Chicago.
Yeah, that wind is going from his right to left, Al, so it should push the ball a little bit.
Zavraka, the holder. The onside kick is right into the arms of Johnny Knox.
I don't think the guys in the front line ever get enough credit on an onside kick. What are we saying here?
Knox may not have been touched by an Eagle, and he put the ball down on the ground. Wow.
Perfectly executed by David Akers. Drive it into the turf. Get it up high. Beyond 10 yards. There's Johnny Knox. Clean catch.
Ball gets knocked away.
He wasn't touched. He gets up. This will go.
It has been ruled Bears football.
Well, this will go to the booth for review. I would be amazed if he didn't get touched in that pile before he came up with the ball. No touch. It looked like I got a touch.
Receiver gave himself up. It's Chicago's ball. Please reset the clock to 1:47. Thank you.
Andy Reid does not agree.
They're not even going to take a look at it.
So the Bears will be able to run out the clock. Eagles out of timeouts as Cutler takes a knee. Jay Cutler with 4 touchdown passes today, tying his career high, as the Bears are going to win their 4th in a row and maintain first place all alone in the NFC North.
Gutty effort by Michael Vick. Hanging in there to the last minute. A great throw to Brent Celek on that last one. Keeps him alive with the potential for that onside kick. Executed well by David Akers. Johnny Knox makes the catch.
A scrum after Cutler takes a knee.
And you heard the official say at the end of that onside kick that the returner gave himself up. Now, anybody in possession of the ball on the ground can give themselves up, but there was also discussions that he was touched. It looked as though we saw somebody that gave him a touch, and probably the reason that it never went to booth review.
There's no foul on the play.
That situation is not reviewable under the rules.
It's been a physical game throughout. A number of skirmishes after plays. And the Chicago Bears make a big statement. Lovie Smith told us on Friday we are not apologizing for our record. This will be their second victory over a team with a winning record. And they will celebrate here in Chicago. Bears have won 4 in a row. Eagles' 3-game win streak comes to an end as the Bears defeat the Eagles by the score of 31-26. The OT coming up in just a couple of minutes. Big day of football on Fox. The key play, the interception thrown by Michael Vick, first of the season, towards the end of the second quarter. Eagles have the ball on the 4-yard line. Harris with the interception. Bears never looked back. Bears win it by 5. We'll return to Chicago after these messages.